Hi girls, I'm Susie.
And I'm Sherry.
Grab a coffee or your favorite cup of tea.
Pull up a seat and take a deep breath.
We are dropping the pretenses.
And we're letting go of the need for perfection.
Come join the conversation. This is the Pink Seat. Hello, girls. Welcome to the Pink Seat. We are back another week, and we're so excited this week to talk about finding balance in the chaos of life.
Yeah, welcome. I think Wednesday mornings are becoming my favorite day of the week because I know we come out on Wednesdays.
Yay!
So I wake up and it's kind of the first thing I do is check the podcast.
You know, the first couple weeks, I would wake up at like 2 a.m. and be frantically checking my phone to see. Actually, one of the weeks I did that, and then I panicked because we had to decide if it was going to release at midnight or what time we wanted to release, and we picked 5 a.m.
Yeah.
But I forgot because we had talked about midnight and it wasn't there, and I thought we did something wrong. Then I remembered. I think I actually got up and got my laptop and then realized after the fact. But I know it's so
It was fun. This week actually snuck up on me. One of my friends yesterday said, I can't wait for tomorrow.
No way.
And I was like, what's tomorrow? And she was like, the podcast. And I was like, oh my goodness, it's already Wednesday again.
I love that.
So it's fun. It's something to look forward to. Like it's just the middle of the week, but podcast comes out. So
that's
it's
true.
Been fun.
And hopefully it is that for you. A little pick-me-up.
I hope so.
Yes, a little bump on your Wednesday, a little reminder that you are not alone, that we are cheering you on, and that whatever you're walking through, you are not the only one going through it, because sometimes that's what the enemy wants us to feel isolated,
Always.
to feel like no one else understands, no one else's brain works like this, no one else is feeling this way, but that is not true.
No, and then we don't always want to talk about it because you do feel like, well, no one else is going through this. No one else is going to understand. Why do I feel this way?
Yeah.
And really, there's so many people that feel the same way that you do, but we're not always sharing that or talking about that. So that's kind of what we hope to do, right? On Wednesdays. And it's like when we get together, we want you to feel like you're a part of it because you're not alone.
Right. And if you are just listening and not watching, which, by the way, you can watch on Spotify or YouTube and then listen only on Apple. Right. But you won't realize, but Sherry, you look so gorgeous today. Aww. You really do. You look stunning. I don't know how I don't know how you walk in at 2 p.m. and you look this good. I had a big dilemma. Because my hair really needed washed.
Yeah.
But I have a hair appointment tomorrow. So I'm not going to wash it.
There's no point.
And I didn't even really make any effort. Yeah. So if you're watching, it is what it is.
Trust me, Susie looks beautiful too.
It's one of those days.
Despite her hair, which is fine.
Let me tell you what happened.
Beautiful.
I went in the hot tub with Mike, even though I didn't want to, but I was saying yes. And I put all my hair up.
Yeah.
But the steam and it made this part of my hair curl like a crazy person.
Yeah.
So then I had to try to flatten it out, and then I wore a hat, like a beanie yesterday.
I was just gonna say hat hair. Yeah, that's been happening. But
I can't. And I wore a hat Monday. I wore a hat Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah.
And I cannot wear a hat 3. I'm like, I draw the line at 3 days in a row.
Well, tomorrow your hair will be gorgeous.
Tomorrow,
and I can never wash my hair and do it as good as like the hairstylist can. And like whenever I get my hair like washed by my sister does my hair. Shout out Amber. I don't have to wash my hair for like a week. Like I don't know what they do or what products they use, but it's like the best.
I know. They make it so smooth and so perfect. You just live on that for a while.
Yes. And actually I just got my hair cut. My sister probably took like 3 inches off. That was something I did in January. I desperately needed to get my hair done, and I have been like no time to do it. So I feel like I have fresh, nice hair. She just did it. So
you haven't had it done since when?
She has not. My sister has not cut my hair or colored it in like 6 months.
What?
I've been doing root touch-ups, like those stupid little boxes that you get in the store.
But
for like,
that's freedom, that you don't have to go so often.
I wish I could. It's like a 2-hour appointment.
I know.
And I don't. And I get like, okay. I'm in my 40s, girls. I started going gray. No joke. This is no lie, Susie. I started going gray at like 20 years old.
Is it genetic?
It is absolutely genetic. And I have been coloring my hair for 20 years. And I just can't
How
not
much
color
gray
it, though.
do you have?
A ton. You would be shocked.
Really?
You would be shocked.
But this is your natural color.
Yes, I'm very dark. For those of you who can't see, I'm a brunette, dark brunette. But yeah, I like the entire line up here is all gray on the top of my head if I did not color it.
My mom was like that, and she would complain all the time. She would say I look like a skunk.
Yes, that would be me.
And there was one time she wanted to shave her head bald.
What?
So she could let it all grow in gray. And so I will never forget this. I must have been like a young teenager.
Yeah.
And I remember her going to the hair salon and saying, I'm going to ask them to shave my head bald because I'm so tired of dyeing.
Way.
And my mom would have us do highlights in her hair. And okay, does anybody remember this? This is really going to date me. But she would get from the drugstore a kit, and you'd put a plastic cap on your head that had little holes.
Through.
Yes, you'd pull the hair through the holes of the cap.
Yeah.
And then put bleach on that part of it, and that would highlight.
Why did we do remember Sun In? Did you ever use Sun In or lemon juice? The things we used to put on our hair to make it light.
Right. And we just fried it.
Oh my goodness. And this is why now in our 40s we're all like trying to get beautiful hair again.
Well, and we have to pay. We pay so much money because we have so many horrible experiences of DIY hair. And
I was literally 3 years ago, I was a blonde like Susie. I mean, platinum blonde.
It's a lot of upkeep.
Oh my God. I was always orange. I was always brassy.
Yeah. It's a lot of work.
Yeah. I went back to being a brunette after an entire year of trying to be a blonde. So
you will be happy to know the hairstylist refused to shave my mom's head.
Thank God.
She said, I'm not going to do it. I think she probably figured the next day you're going to majorly regret this and probably like sue me for lack of judgment.
Okay, good.
And so then she kind of gave it up and never tried again. But wow.
Too funny.
Here we are. It's January. We made it through. It's actually the last week of January. We made it through Blue Monday.
Oh, thank you, Jesus. And Quitters. What was it? Quitters
Day.
So we made it through that.
Yes.
Yeah.
The sun is setting a little bit later. So
every
when we
day.
leave work,
yes.
it's not pitch black.
Oh, it's been so nice. I dropped my daughter off at a school event yesterday at 5:00, and I was like, it's still light out.
Hallelujah.
I was so excited.
I know. How is your Monday going? Drop a note in the comments.
Yeah,
also,
let us
how
know.
often do you get your hair done? How often?
I know.
So,
I'm curious. I'm jealous of all of you who don't have gray hair and who don't have to keep going. Like, it's fun.
Well,
it's a treat. I love it. But it's like when you have grays that pop up every 2 weeks, it's a lot to keep up with.
I don't have a lot of gray. I have some gray, but I have extensions in my hair and they have to be moved up about once a month. So I do have to go in. It doesn't take long.
Right.
But it is just an extra thing.
It's just one of those things that you do.
I know. And my husband, any type of self-care like that, he thinks it's like a spa day. So he'll be like, how was your hair appointment? And I'm like, it was awful. Like I had to sit there for 3 hours and I brought my laptop so I could get work done. And the seat it's not a luxury spa.
Do you know that's how I feel when I get my nails done?
Yeah.
Like
same.
I know it's so fun to have your nails done, but I hate nail appointments.
Yeah, they're not fun.
It's an entire hour of sitting there just being like, and I kind of know all of the steps that they do, like, okay, first he's going to do this and then he's going to do this. So I kind of like, I'm counting down until I can just be done. I don't like it.
It's not enjoyable.
No, I love having my nails done, but I hate that appointment.
The nail salon is worse too because it definitely is not a luxury spot. I will say the girl that does my hair does an amazing job. I'm complaining. Her seats really are not. Nikki Marie, if you're watching, your seats are great. She creates a beautiful environment, but it's not this relaxing.
No,
that
I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of feel like, we have to do these things though, ladies, to look beautiful, to look our best. What can you do?
A little pick me up to make ourselves feel like we're bringing out the best in us. So, but you had an exciting January.
I did. And you know what's funny? I feel like January gets a bad rap, right? There's a lot of complaining that goes on in January, me included.
Rightfully so.
But I wanted to share a couple fun things that have happened to us in January because I think sometimes we don't always talk about the good things in our lives.
True.
At least I don't. Sometimes I don't always share the good things because it almost comes across as not bragging necessarily, but you never know where someone else is, right? And you girls know, oh my goodness, if you're having a hard time, a bad day, a bad week, it can be really, really hard to have that like positive friend in your life that's just like, oh, everything's going great. And, you know, I'm like working out and I lost weight and this and that. And you're just kind of like, please leave me alone and let me be miserable.
But I think that's a good point. Like if we want to share the hard, we want to celebrate the wins, celebrate the good things, and cheer each other on.
So a couple cool things. My husband went back to school this month.
That's amazing.
He's taking online classes to work on a degree to just better his career, hopefully get a better job. So we're super excited about that. I got a new vehicle.
Hallelujah. Because you've been minivanning.
Oh my goodness. For those of you that don't know, I have been a minivan mom for 12 years. And when I say that, I mean, I've literally driven the same minivan for 12 years.
Well, in your defense, minivans were cooler 12 years ago.
Were they though?
Yeah, I think so. I think 12 years ago, yes.
It's true.
I think in the past, probably for sure 5 years.
More people are not.
It's all SUV all the time. But minivans, the same one.
The same minivan. So I'm super excited. I have an SUV now and I love it and it's so much fun. So that's just been cool for me. Like it makes driving fun again. I'm like, oh my goodness. Like I bought this thing when I was pregnant with my youngest daughter and she's going to be 12. So that was super cool. And then just one other quick thing to share is I remember last week we were talking about how I said I think I needed a tropical vacation.
Yes.
And you said, do you have any trips planned? And I said, no.
I know.
Well, I got home and literally a few days later, my husband said, honey, I'm going to Orlando on a work trip and you're invited.
I'm saying you start to speak these things out.
I know.
Right?
I'm honestly super excited. So I get to go. There's a little February trip for me for 4 days and I cannot wait. I'm super excited.
You know, I talked a couple weeks ago in a message on Sunday, the scripture that says God will give you the desires of your heart if you delight yourself in the Lord.
Absolutely.
So we don't believe that, you know, we can just speak whatever we want and God's going to give it to us. But when we delight ourselves in the Lord, he blesses us with those things.
And I'm always desiring sunshine.
And a free trip.
And a free trip. So, you know, you can't go wrong.
That's amazing.
So yeah, just some cool, fun little, you know, January things that happened that weren't so like gloom and doom and, you know, but
I have something fun that I did in January.
Oh, I want to know.
I finally decided to go and get my ear pierced. Did I tell you?
No.
I didn't think I did.
You didn't?
Yeah. So Adeline, my daughter who is away at college, was here. She only had a few more days left at home.
And
so, I'm like time's ticking. I texted her. I'm like, do you want to go with me right now?
I love that.
Yeah, go and get my ear pierced.
And did it hurt really bad? I've heard that cartilage piercing can be pretty painful.
I'm going to post the video. I had her take a video. I'm going to post the video.
I'm like clapping for those of you that can't see. I'm like clapping in my seat. Have fun.
Will say the actual piercing really did not hurt as much as I thought. It's so intimidating.
They take like this long like needle thing and you're shoving that in my ear.
You're like, you're just going to push, like you're just going to strong arm that needle through a piece of my body. But so the actual piercing wasn't that bad, but the first few hours, I couldn't believe how much it hurt. And then anytime I bumped it, probably the first week, it was like excruciating pain. But it's hard.
Susie, that is adorable.
It's cute, right?
It's so cute.
Yeah, and I have a vision. They didn't have a lot of options for like the jewelry for the piercing. Yeah. But he said in 8 weeks, he told me what I can get on Etsy.
Fun.
And he said in 8 weeks he'll change it out. So
isn't it fun how something like a little piercing can make you almost feel like a new woman? You're like, I've got this cute piercing.
I know. So shout out to Chad at the Rocking Horse.
Oh, and he's great. He's done, like, my oldest daughter loves piercings and he's done all of her piercings.
Really?
Yeah, she's got a bunch.
He's so nice. And Rosetta, if you're listening, you mentioned to me you wanted a new piercing or a tattoo. So I'm just saying, I'll go with you.
You're going to have to go with me because now I want one.
No, it's
really. I had gotten a piercing, like, I don't even know. Cookie can't remember what this one's called. Right
Is
here.
That Is that the Daith?
Yeah. Or oh goodness, I'm sorry. I honestly can't remember, but I had to take it out. Do you know, like every time someone would hug me, they would kind of like, you know, like you press on the side of your ear. It never healed.
I've
for
heard
an entire year. I'm talking like this thing would bleed. It was so sore, and I finally had my husband take like pliers, and I said just clip it out of my ear.
I've heard that's a hard spot to heal.
But it was super cute. Like I loved the way it looked, but it did not love being in my cartilage. So anyways,
it's gonna bother me. I can't think of what it's
I can't either. I keep on wanting to call it like the Daith or the conch, but I don't think it's either of those.
The conch is this.
It's the tragus. Yay.
Yeah,
I thought of it.
too.
Yeah, the tragus piercings. Anywho,
we all need a little bling. I just feel like it's like a little bling. It just like I want to get a cute little,
honestly, super cute
diamond and like fake diamond and gold, like a little.
You know what I want?
Sparkle.
I want another tattoo.
What do you want? Do you know?
I don't know. Something very cute and very tiny, like maybe a little wildflower somewhere. But I'm also trying to be respectful of my husband, who doesn't particularly care for tattoos, and I already have 2. So I you know.
Good luck with that.
I know exactly.
Something.
Oh dear. I know where this is going. Never mind. I don't need the tattoo. No, I'm just kidding.
By the way, February is coming up, which is Valentine's, and we have so many fun ideas for Valentine's and for the month of February for podcasts. We're working on getting some guests on. So pray with us for that as we figure out, because we have to have some equipment changes to make that happen. But
yeah, I'm trying to get the husbands to come on. I'm not sure how they would feel about this.
They would do it.
But I think like a Q&A, some kind of marriage Q&A with the husbands would be super fun, lighthearted, lots of fun.
People send in questions.
Oh my goodness, girls.
Right?
What do you want to hear about our marriages? Send us all the questions.
Fine.
Nothing's off the table. Just send us what you want to know.
All
Because Susie's been married for 20 some odd years, and so have I. So
we stopped counting at 20. I have been so thankful this month for everything God's doing. And have you heard the song by Elevation called "I'm Just Grateful for You"?
No.
I'm gonna have to send it to you.
Maybe if I heard it. I don't recognize it by the title.
It's kind of simple, but it's just "I'm just grateful for you," and it's just kind of a song of Thanksgiving, and that's been my anthem over the past couple weeks. So if you haven't heard that song, check it out, sing it, belt it out in the car, and as you are, know that we're probably singing it along with you. So share with us, what are you thankful for this month? What has God been doing in your life? We're through Blue Monday and Quitters Friday and all the sad blue things. We're moving on to February, and
the nights are longer, and it's just going to be so good. I'm really hopeful. I'm really excited.
So this podcast episode, we do have a point, believe it or not.
We'll get to it.
We are going to get there, but we wanted to talk about finding balance in the chaos. And we live in this culture and society, and I have to say, social media, right? This idea and influence we are constantly putting and comparing ourselves to women that seem to have it all together.
Yes.
And then we put this internal pressure on ourselves that we too have to have it all together because we know what the truth is, that we don't, but we want this appearance.
Right. What does that even mean? Like, I keep thinking, like, we want to have it all. What is it? What does that even mean, though?
What does it mean to have it all?
What does it mean to have it all?
It means, well, I would say from the world,
I guess it's something different to everyone, but
it's financial, it's appearance, it's relationships, it's status.
It's all of it. But it really just wears you out because, like you said, when you're trying to keep up with what everybody else has, and honestly, with social media, we all know this, right? You're seeing everyone's highlighted reel.
Yeah.
You're not seeing all of the other stuff. They're sharing clips with you that they want you to see.
Yeah.
And that can make us all feel bad, honestly, because we're thinking we can't keep up with that.
Yeah, but it's really not a new problem.
I just think social media makes it harder, like you were saying, because, you know, back when our parents were, I'm doing air quotes here, keeping up with the Joneses, you had to like physically like see it almost.
True.
Like it wasn't on social media for you to look at everybody's vacations, everyone's new cars, everyone's new look. So it's in your face 24/7.
Well, you
constantly.
weren't waking up in the morning sometimes before you get out of bed and opening this up and then making it the first thing you see and the last thing you see.
It's
and then
so hard.
full during the day when you're waiting in the doctor's appointment or in the kids pickup line
right. And when you're having, one of those Januaries where you feel a little financially strapped or you're not feeling that great, or like we had talked about, not always keeping up with our goals. And then you see somebody else who looks like they're crushing it at life. It's okay if you don't feel happy for them. It doesn't, right, Susie? It doesn't make you a bad person to not always feel happy for someone else. That's okay.
The problem comes when we start to compare ourselves.
Yeah.
Because when we start comparing, then we kind of subconsciously put people on levels and we kind of in our mind put them on a level that we are less than. And I think that's where I think it's okay to not feel, and we've Sherry and I privately have had conversations about, people in our lives that this has happened or we've, compared ourselves to them. But the problem is when we allow jealousy and envy to creep in, because that is
that's just rotten.
Poison.
It really
is poison. And so, yes, it is okay, to not be like, I'm truthfully not happy for them, right. But it's what you do with that. That's true. Are you then calling up another friend and complaining to them?
Right.
Or are you getting alone with Jesus and saying, God, help me with this feeling because I don't like it.
And I will say, with me and you, we can talk about anything. I have in my life at times had to confide in a friend or my mother or my sister, someone who's trusted, someone that's not going to talk behind your back, but and say I have these struggling. Yes. I have these big feelings right now and I don't know what to do with them. I think jealousy is one of the worst feelings ever. And if you don't struggle with it, I think women struggle with it. Some women struggle with it more than others, but I am somebody who has struggled with jealousy a lot in my life, looking at what somebody else has and thinking, I want that, or I wish I was pretty like her, or I wish I had her car, I wish I had her house, I wish I had their money, and it just goes on and on and on. And I've had to say, I need somebody to pray for me, or I'll bring it to my husband. I don't know what to do with these feelings.
Right.
So talking it out with somebody is absolutely helpful.
I think too, knowing that that's normal.
Yes.
And being able to say, me too.
Yeah.
Right. To have a friend that, like you said, you can confide in and they can say me too. I felt that too. Yeah. That's real life.
Again, because no one wants to feel alone in their feelings. So when you have somebody else that can say, that's okay. We all struggle with that. We've all been there.
And somehow it does help.
It does.
How does it help? It doesn't make sense that it would.
No, it just kind of validates that it's okay. You're a human. It's okay to struggle with these things. We're not perfect. We're not always going to get it right. It's in your face all the time. It's okay that you're feeling that way.
There's a scripture in the Bible that says, confess your sins to one another and you will be healed. And it kind of is that, you are, it's not the way that you maybe would interpret it. You're not sitting in front of your friend and tears streaming down your face and being like, I have this big, huge, scary confession I need to make. It's more hey,
right.
This is tough.
I'm struggling with this and I need to talk to someone about this. I need to bounce my ideas off of you, or just what do you think about this, right? And just for someone else to say oh my goodness, I deal with that too. I struggle with that too.
Right.
It's so helpful.
Because it's so common. And I think about women that are struggling, maybe you're struggling with fertility and your best friend gets pregnant.
Oh, that's hard.
And it's not, you truly are happy for her.
Yes.
But there is also this part of you that obviously is so envious that she's living out a dream that you haven't been able to experience yet.
It instantly makes you feel like a bad person because you're like, who does this?
Right.
I'm this person's friend and I'm like sitting here like bitter about this.
And then you feel shame
on
top of everything else.
The shame it's real. It's the worst. Even with my car, okay, I just told you girls that I got a new vehicle. Trust me, over the past 12 years, I have watched literally every single one of my friends get a new vehicle. And I'm honestly was happy for them. And at the same time, you're thinking like, when is it my turn? Right? When is it my turn to upgrade, to get the new whatever it is? It could be anything in your life. You could be jealous over somebody's whatever, purse, jewelry, house, vacations. The list goes on.
I know. It reminds me on Christmas Day, I had a group chat with my family and a few of my family members were posting some of the like fun things they got for Christmas. Yeah. And one of my family members posted her new BMW. I was like, and then so I posted a picture and I was like, this is my new simmer pot. But I truly was so excited about that simmer pot my mother-in-law got for me I loved to put on my stove. But it was just so funny.
Thinking, I'm so happy that you got a BMW.
But I was happy that she got a BMW.
But I think, okay, again, right? Like you can feel a little twinge of,
I was a little jealous.
Yes, you
True.
can be jealous.
Yes.
But that's just it, right? I love to talk about like, it doesn't have to be one or the other, right?
We've
talked about how like sadness can coexist with joy. You can be happy for someone and a little jealous. I'm going to get in
so much trouble from this podcast already, Sherry. I can tell you.
You never said it. You didn't say anything bad.
I'm going to get in trouble.
Well, it's okay.
But it is real life. And it's true. You can be happy and jealous of the heated and cooled cup holders at the same time. It doesn't mean that you aren't happy for that person and you aren't celebrating with them.
I was happy for a lot of my friends in their new cars, but I didn't have a moonroof and heated leather seats. So whatever. I mean, you enjoy that, ladies.
And sometimes it is a not yet kind of.
So true. It's just not your turn. Not yet.
Sometimes it's a not ever as well. Let's be honest.
That's true too.
There are some things that are not ever. But I will tell you, a good friend of mine told me this, and I will never forget it. When it comes to comparing yourself with other people and their purchases and the things they have and the things that you might not have, and she would say, that thing is not a priority in my life and my family's life. So for instance, there are some people that have big homes and maybe you would rather have a small home and go on bigger vacations. And so you could say for that person, that's a priority for them. That's not a priority for me. And so right now, a priority for us is groceries on our table,
paying the national grid bill,
keeping the electricity,
making sure the children are fed. That's so true, though.
But we do not live in a third world country.
No.
Most of us that are listening to this podcast, we are able to feed our kids. We are able to clothe our children. And so a lot of the things are more luxury. It is like the vacation or the car or the new furniture or whatever it might be. But to be able to say that's just not a priority in my life and my family right now.
Like,
it does help.
And it's not the season that you're in. You know, I've told myself that often too. Like, that's their season. That's just not my season. So, you know, we all go through different seasons and it's like, you know, it's learning contentment, which we could have a whole episode just on contentment and maybe we will. And it's really trusting God in the season that you're in. Again, it always comes back to Jesus, right? Like we have to trust that his plan is the right plan. And, you know, so it's all about trust and learning that contentment. And it's okay if you're a tiny bit jealous. It's all right.
Do you know the other thing that helps so much is and it sounds silly and it's going to sound cliche and you aren't going to like it, but it's to focus on the things that you are personally thankful for.
So true.
And Mike and I are fostering a little boy, and oftentimes at bedtime, you know, I think he's happy, his heart is full. We're doing all the bedtime routine stuff. And oftentimes at bedtime, pretty much every night he will want to start talking about things he wants to buy, or can we buy him this, or how much money does he have because he wants to get this. And I've noticed it's a pattern in his life. And so I've started to talk about it with him and say, you know what, that's fine for you to want something new, but can you right now tell me 3 things you're thankful for that you already have?
That's awesome.
Because when you end the day thinking about what you wish you had, but you don't have, it brings that discontentment.
Right.
It brings envy. It breeds jealousy.
It does.
And you don't want to end your day like that, right? And so he'll say the 3 things my Pokemon cards, my whatever. But holy cow,
it's good for
we
all
need
of us
to do that, right?
My mother-in-law loves to say we always need to have an attitude of gratitude.
Yeah, but
and it kind of sounds silly, but
I don't.
That's what I mean. We're not always
we don't
we're
want to
not
do
always
that.
grateful. We don't
know.
always feel grateful, but there's so much to be grateful and thankful for. There really is.
I did read that scientifically, anxiety and gratitude cannot coexist in your brain.
I read that too.
Right? So if you're struggling with those feelings, you'll stop and look. And it's what you focus on is what you see.
It's
what
true.
you feed grows. So if you're
Absolutely.
constantly looking at the things you don't have, the new
it just
vehicle, the
breeds
bigger house, the
discontentment.
vacations, but to look at the things you're thankful for, keep your eye fixed on the goal that you have in the season of life that you're in. I know it's so much easier said than done.
It is, but it's so true.
It's a good reminder.
We need to all practice it. That's all.
I need that reminder in my life.
I do too.
Because apparently getting a brand new car with a red bow in your driveway is not as common of a gift as you're made to think that. When you're a kid, you think being an adult is getting new cars with red bows like every year. Apparently,
Never happened for me.
It's not quite real life.
Still waiting.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll happen someday.
Maybe not yet.
Anyways, we're so off topic today,
That's
girls.
okay.
We're
So
off topic.
Finding balance in the chaos.
Yeah.
This idea of trying to have it all and trying to let go of unrealistic expectations, right?
Yeah. So I think one of the cool things, I guess not one of the cool things, but one of the things I'm still learning in my 42 years of life is to ask for help. Okay. Some of the biggest times in my life where I have felt the most anxiety, the most overwhelm, is when I'm trying to do it all. Because again, right, we can want to have it all and we can also want to do it all. And we can be really bad at just asking for help. And when I was preparing for this kind of episode and just, trying to figure out what I really wanted to say, it was funny because this story came to mind of years and years and years ago when I was a younger mom with 4 little kids. One thing I remember in particular is taking all of my kids to the grocery store. Mm-hmm. This was before grocery delivery services. That would have changed my life.
You remember because you have PTSD over it. That's why you remember.
Mm-hmm. But I remember girls literally, having a baby in the front of the cart. I had my toddler in the back part of the cart where you put all of the groceries. And I had one child on one side of me and one child on the other. Mm-hmm. So I had all 4 kids. And I remember Susie, I'm almost embarrassed to admit this, but I remember crying in the grocery store, walking down the aisle with literal tears, coming down my face because I was so overwhelmed. Mm-hmm. I was so tired. I was exhausted. Mm-hmm. I'm had been up since whatever the crack of dawn. Right. You're feeding the kids. You're making sure that they're, dressed, that you need to take a diaper bag with you, the whole thing, right? And taking all these kids to the store and then almost just being I don't even know what I'm here for. What do I need? Right. And just, I'm sure people were looking at me this poor mom.
And no one helps. No one offers to help you.
But all that to say, part of that, right, kind of fell on me. I didn't have to do that. I could have waited till my husband got home from work. I could have asked someone to help watch the kids.
Right.
I always had this mentality, I can do it all.
Right.
Why are we trying to be superwoman or super mom, right? The house is to be clean and the laundry has to be done and home cooked meals. And it's I took so much upon myself.
Right.
Some of that overwhelm, some of that anxiety really could have been eliminated if I just said, help.
Right.
Can someone please help me? Or, just lightening my own load by realizing I can give up things.
So laying down the pressure we put on ourselves to have it all.
Absolutely.
And to say, let's get the most important things right.
Totally.
And let's let go of the things that don't matter as much.
Yes. I know. Do you have anything similar like that? Actually, Susie preached a couple of weeks ago, and I loved the story that you told, like, about you being in your minivan and how, like, at late at night, right?
That's
like
true.
But she had her husband watching the kids because she's smarter than me.
My minivan is the only place God spoke to me for like 5 years because, I mean, maybe at church, but home was so chaotic,
so
and there was always something to do. But yeah, if I was out late at night, probably doing a grocery run at Walmart so I could go out without the kids. I remember being in a grocery store, and I only had 3, so I never had to experience 4, but I had a kiddo with special needs, and the 2 were 14 months apart, and you couldn't fit all the babies in a cart with the groceries.
No.
So I would have to have a cart with 2 babies just for the babiys, and then a cart with my groceries. So I was literally pushing a cart and pulling a cart at the same time. And that,
again, we are trying to be super mom
that
here.
was not normal for me, but I remember doing it and feeling like I have a little bit of PTSD from this. Like, this is so stressful and so
Do you like grocery shopping like to this day? Because I literally hate grocery shopping to this day, and I blame it on when my kids were little and I would take them with me.
You know what's funny about that? No, I don't like it. I either do online Walmart or Aldi, because Aldi I can get in and out quick.
I do love Aldi.
But you know who likes to go grocery shop with me when he's off is Mike. But that's because he doesn't have to do it out of necessity. He'll come with me like for fun days. And I remember him grocery shopping with me when we were younger, and him just putting things in his cart, and he would kind of make comments like, why don't you ever buy this? And he was putting all the like fun things, and then we checked out and the price was so high, and I was like, that's why I don't buy that.
That's why we go off the list.
Because when I was a stay-at-home mom, we had to make sacrifices.
So absolutely.
I couldn't buy paper plates and paper towel.
Right.
It was that kind of, you don't get, those were luxury items.
They are.
And so he would be like, let's go for fun to the grocery store.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah, because it wasn't a responsibility for him. But
no, I know when it becomes like, when you have to do it.
So ask for help.
It's not fun. Ask for help, girls. Just do it. It's okay to ask for help. Don't take it all upon yourself.
Pay the extra $10 if you have to for the delivery tip if you can't get there.
Yes, and I know.
Prioritize.
I've shared in the very first episode, I shared that I own my own cleaning business and I am a house cleaner. And I know that is not something that everyone can afford. But I'm telling you, some of these girls that I clean for, they're so thankful, and it takes something off their plate. Like, if that's something you could ever have in your budget, I'm not saying hire me. I'm just saying that might be something to look into just to help lighten your load. Have a house cleaner come in once every few weeks or once a month. Like,
maybe for a season. Look at the priorities. If you're married, have the conversation with your spouse. Be real. Be honest.
I'm just saying, don't do it all yourself. You don't have to take on everything yourself. And that's something I learned the hard way, because I did that for years, and it just burns you out a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. So let go of some of those expectations. Let go of the pressure to keep up with everybody else so we can find more balance. What are some things that you do, Sherry, that helps take that pressure off?
So, okay, coffee is a big thing for me. It is such a treat. I know I've said that before, but just sitting with a cup of coffee, taking a few minutes to myself, and I have even gone so far as to go in my bathroom. I have a heated floor in my bathroom, and that's a little luxury. We redid my bathroom a few years ago, and I did heated floors in there. So sometimes I'll turn up the heated floor in my bathroom, and I will literally lock the door and go sit on my bathroom floor and like take a time out.
Yeah.
It helps. I had read somewhere, or I was listening to a podcast, and she said, if you can't nap, because let's be honest, we all need naps and we don't get them.
No.
But she said, if you cannot nap, just rest. It could be 5 minutes. Just do it.
It does help.
I don't get you.
Shut the door.
Yes,
lay on your
put
bed.
a movie on for your kids. A quick show. Give them the iPad. It's okay. No one's judging you.
Do not go on social media though. Do
No.
something that
Yes.
brings joy to you, that brings life to you, or helps your mind relax. So that could be playing a game,
Right.
like a thoughtless, just game on your phone.
Yeah.
Sitting,
what are some
reading.
things you do? Like, do you implement any like moments of rest in your day? Like something that's just for you where you're like, okay.
Yeah. Yesterday, I was home for 15 minutes and then I had to turn around and leave again. And so I could have
Story of my life.
moved laundry over. I could have wiped down something. But I shut my bedroom door. I laid and I just opened a little game on my phone and played a quick 7 minute game and then Mike came in, we talked for a few minutes and then that was it.
It's the best.
You
need it.
Take my shoes off, put my feet up. I didn't change. I didn't have time. I knew I was going right back out the door.
But I'll do that too. Sometimes I'll just come in. Susie has multiple kids like I do, and it's like someone always has to be somewhere. So sometimes all I'll have is 10 minutes in between, like, when I get home and I have to leave again. But I will, just sit for 5 minutes, drink some water,
I also like
relax.
making tea because it's kind of a process. Like you have to get the water and then the tea bag. So maybe you do that and in between you're just sitting, you're allowing yourself. You know what I found myself doing the other day and I thought of you was I just took a moment and I was, okay, Susie, you can do this.
I love that. Yes. Pep talk yourself.
Yes. I did not look in the mirror. I haven't quite gotten to that point yet. Next week, I'm going to try that.
It's helpful. And maybe it sounds silly, but literally sometimes you have to actually look at yourself like you're talking to a friend, like pretend you're the friend.
Right.
What would you want to hear, right? Sometimes it's like, you've got this. You
would
can
encourage
do
a friend in that way. Can encourage yourself.
Absolutely.
And then we have to remind ourselves of what the word of God says and that you have a God that cares for you, that cares about those little details. It is such a lie to say that God has bigger things to worry about. That is a lie from the enemy. God cares about the little things in your life. And 1 Peter chapter 5 verse 7 says, cast all your cares upon him, for he cares for you. Not cast the big cares, not cast the cares that you think are important about your kids or a family member that's sick or someone that's in crisis, because we will stop and pray.
We will for the big things.
In crisis.
Yeah.
Have any of you ever like prayed for when you see an ambulance going by and you don't know? Like we will pray for those things that we think are big things.
Right.
That's not what it says.
No.
It says cast all your cares.
Yes.
Right?
And I've learned that over the years too, right? Like you said, it is easy to pray for someone who's sick or someone who has cancer. But God wants to know about your little things too.
Yeah.
It can be like, Lord, help me to get through this next hour.
He cares
help
about
me to get
you.
through breakfast.
Yeah.
Help me to get my kids off to school and to be a good mom today. Just, to be a better woman than I was yesterday. It's all those little tiny things.
I love that.
Yeah.
And you can do a little Google search. What are some scriptures about casting your cares on the Lord? Because there's
a lot of them.
Right?
There's a lot of them.
Psalm 55, cast your burden upon the Lord and he will sustain you. There was another one you wrote down.
Yeah, Matthew 11:28 says, come to me all who are weary and heavy burdened, and I will give you rest. And I love that. I love that Jesus literally wants to give us rest. And there's so many, but it's like, think about that for a minute. He longs to give us rest.
Right.
He doesn't want us to be, striving and endlessly ceasing and just, it's that cycle of just like wearing ourselves out. And he's saying, Sherry, Susie, I want to give you rest. So pause and reflect on me.
So good. So that is our challenge for you this week, to stop, to take a moment, to cast your cares on him and allow yourself to find rest, however that might be.
Yeah. Give yourself compassion, give yourself grace, right? We talk about this a lot. We can give it to others and we don't always want to give it to ourselves.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're like just the least compassionate people to ourselves.
Yeah. It's so true.
Yeah.
Well, we hope that this encouraged you, that this blessed you, that this challenged you in some way, shape, or form, and that this week that no matter what, you are not alone. Maybe that means you are in your minivan and you are surrounded by Cheerios and goldfish
That's
on the
okay.
floor.
Yeah.
And you're in the grocery store crying and your laundry's not done. Or maybe you are not in that season and life isn't as chaotic, but you're just lonely. And we want to remind you that God is right beside you and you have a community of women here that are cheering you on too,
We're right behind you. We love you guys. And we really do think of you as our friends. We're like sitting here having coffee with you.
Yeah.
So thanks for being a part of our day. We love that we can be a part of your day. This is so fun.
Yes. A friend of mine texted me last night and she said, I love my morning drives with you and Sherry.
Oh my goodness.
Right? Once a week. It's like we're hanging out.
Sweet, very sweet text from you. Thank you for everyone who has listened. Honestly, I feel like I can speak for Susie too. It's humbling.
Yeah.
It's humbling to know that anyone would want to listen to us.
Know.
So just thank you.
It's so fun. We love it. And if you know somebody that you feel like could use a little pick-me-up, needs a little encouraging word and a reminder that they're not alone, would you share this with them? You can also subscribe so you get those notifications on Wednesday mornings so you don't forget.
Do all the things. Heart it, like it, share it. We would be just ever so grateful. So thank you.
Yeah, we love you guys and we'll see you back next week.
Bye.